Hello, my friend. Hi, how are you today? I am very sorry to not show my face today, but my webcam it's not working properly. But anyway, hope to fix that later. I wanted to share with you two very cool new free plugins and also a couple of interesting deals that I'm sure you're gonna love as much as I do. And we're gonna check out quickly here the plugins we're gonna be covering up today. First, we have this cool new equalizer, free by Analog Obsession. It's inspired in the American equalizer legendary API EQ, and this one has a cool twist that adds saturator. We're gonna check out that in a moment. I'm sorry, this one it's not working properly. And we're gonna be also checking out this cool VST instrument by Agus Hardiman. It's called Monster Soundscapes to create all sorts of ambient sounds. And we're gonna be covering up a couple of deals by mastering the mix. First, the Reso. This is a cool dynamic resonant suppressor, like a cheaper alternative to Sooth 2. It has a 34% off at the moment. This one, $44. It uses artificial intelligence to suppress the resonances in all of the tracks, all of the audio sources. And finally, this cool plugin that I use a lot by mastering the mix as well. This is the reference to. I was a user of the previous version, and now this new version it's also highly usable in my workflow. It's a very simple way to reference other tracks, right? It gives you all of the perspectives that you might need in case that you want to reference to other professional tracks. I'm gonna leave everything down below in the description and first comment, all of the applicable links for the downloads, and also leave you some timestamps in case that you're watching this live stream at the when it ended. I'm sorry that I'm not showing my face. Like I said, my webcam is not working properly. All right, and let's go here to my DAW. Let me show you the session. All right, so I have this EQ. I have it here on drums. This new EQ by Analog Obsession includes saturation as well as the EQ move, right? So you have the fixed bands, right, that you affect below the 0 decibels or above cut or boost, and you double click and it resets by default. You have from 12 kilohertz and 12 hertz all the way up to 16K that you can affect. And the interesting tool here is the saturation added to each individual band, so you can add separately saturation. If you click here on this M, which stands for mode, you can add saturation. This yellow control will add the saturation on that particular band. And if you disable the yellow control, you have still that control for that particular band. So pretty cool. When you enable it, you have the saturation that you added, but you can see two of those process individually and separately. For instance, if I add some saturation here at 4K, I can still use this to cut or boost. So pretty cool. And yeah, I think very creative by the Analog Obsession developer. All right, and besides the bands, you have an input and output, and also a dry and wet control to blend the unprocessed and processed signal. And if you click in the Analog Obsession logo, you are gonna be enabling oversampling up to 4x to avoid digital distortion, especially in mastering. And this I/O, it's turns off the plugin, the whole process, and this individual I/O turn off or disable the separate bands. All right, so let's check it out here on drums. Let's add some highs. Okay, not too much. Let's cut some lower mid-range. Okay, if I would want to saturate, for instance, the low end, by the way, saturation can help you to control the dynamics. For instance, in the kick drum in this case, at 63 Hertz. Let's add some saturation at 4K. It's not very noticeable. You would need to add a ton of saturation on different bands to notice it, but it definitely compresses and saturates the signal in a subtle way. Before, after. Okay, let's also saturate the 8K. Right, let's check out this EQ that works great on guitars as well, because of the bands these equalizers have are very musical, right? These fixed bands that we have here. So let's add some saturation in the highs. Some EQ. There you notice a bit more the saturation on electric guitars. Let's disable it. Turn off. Alright, that's the EQ by Analog Obsession. Let's move on with the other instrument or plugin on this list. A new instrument by Agus Hardiman. A cool and good music producer, creator of virtual instruments available for free for drums and stuff. But this instrument, it's a different one. It's called Soundscapes, and this instrument will create different sounds depending on 8 presets that you have here. For instance, here you have beach and birds, jungle and birds, rain with thunder, campfire in the forest, night in the sky, crowded restaurant, zoo, garden, starbase earth, 2096, right? Some futuristic sounds. And if you switch to each one of the presets, you can disable some sounds, for instance here of the beach and of the birds. Here you have the panning control. You can pan the different sounds left or right, or in the center, or in between. And with this you increase or decrease the volume of that specific ambient sound. And yeah, you have general universal reverb, size, dampening, compression, width, and mix of the reverb, and also in universal delay here, time, feedback, and mix, and the master volume output, right? Also, if you double click on each control, it resets the control, and you have the different keys on your MIDI keyboard down here. So let's check out some sounds here. Let's start with the beach and birds. Okay, let's turn on more sounds. Beach. You can disable and leave only the beach. Alright, let's check out other ones. Jungle and birds. Right, add reverb. And delay, pretty cool. Let's switch to rain and thunder. Just the thunder. Right? Lower thunder sounds. Pretty cool. Next one, forest. City traffic and city noises. Cool. Restaurant. Also zoo and animals. Okay, I'm sorry if you hear some noises here. Someone is fixing something, alright, outside, but it's very close. But anyway, let's go with this, the resonant suppressor by Mastering the Mix. Let's move to the mix here. I'm gonna start to use it on vocals. Alright, let's see here. So this plugin, using dynamic EQ and compression and artificial intelligence, it calculates and analyzes the audio to remove resonances. So it's very simple to use. You just click here, calculate targets, and it automatically gives you the result with all of the resonances that should be suppressed or reduced. And with this triangle, you can listen only what the suppression, noise suppression, or resonance suppression is doing. Let's check it out here on this vocal track.
This is our time. No more excuses. We can change this. This is our time to break this down. No more excuses. We can change this. This is our time.
Alright, it's taking a bit more than usual. Let's see what's happening here.
This is our time. No more excuse.
Alright, let's open up another instance of the Reso here. Okay, let's try that again. Vocals.
This is our time. No more excuse.
All right, all of the targets are now here. And if we click here on engage targets,
This is our time.
these are the resonances that this artificial intelligence needs to suppress or reduce, and we can select them all and cut or reduce them more.
This is our time. No more.
You can like pinpoint each resonance and solo it. For instance, let's select only this one. All right, and if we let's just select this one, for instance. So all of them are selected, but all right.
This is
Very high. All right. And let's unsolo this.
This is
Before.
our time. No more excuses. We can change this
All of them combined.
time to.
All right. And for instance here, let's check it out on this drum track. So we calculate the targets.
This is our.
Okay, I think you need to first engage the plugin and then play the song. Let's do a full reset. Okay, calculating. And we have the nodes, that's what they call it. Engage. Let's reduce this. So this is what this plugin is identifying as resonances that should be suppressed or reduced. Alright, that's the Reso plugin by Mastering the Mix. And finally, let's move on with the last plugin on this list. It's the Reference by Mastering the Mix as well. I love this plugin to reference professional tracks so I can know what's going on with their frequency spectrum, what's happening in the low end, what's happening with the compression, and also with the stereo width and stereo image of those tracks. So when you open up the plugin, it's gonna ask you to load a reference track, right? So you load it, you look it up on your computer, and the cool thing is that it level matches the original mastered track. For instance, if you have a professional mastered track, it level matches that track with your track, and now you have a good representation of both of the songs, right? Because you're not gonna be biased based on the volume by the other mastered track, right? Which is gonna be louder and stuff, but this plugin level matches both tracks, and you can hear the original, your original mix and the reference here, and you can here, for instance, mirror it. You can select a different part of the song and it will match with your song and that specific part, just a loop, right? Or you can use it freely here, like I do, for instance. But if you want to, for instance, reference the chorus on the reference track and your chorus, you can do that with the mirror function. But let's do that here in Action. I added the reference track already, and here you have a Trinity display that will give you some important information about the compression, the stereo width, and also the EQ curve of both the original and the reference, and it will show you what's missing on your track, right? Or what you want to add, or maybe you are having too much low end or something, and it will let you know. So let's do that here. I'm gonna engage the plugin, and this is the original track. Right, so level line here, it's the frequencies, right? Let's like that. This is the reference. All right. What's going on with the reference here? Alright, that's the reference. This is your track. And let's, for instance, you can solo the low end. Your track. Mid-range. Highs. And here, for instance, if you click on punch dots, it will give you the compression your track needs. This sort of lights going outside this line means that you need more compression on this part of your song. Let's check out Analyze the Low End, for instance. It's telling you that you need more compression here on this low end. Here on the high end, you need less compression. That's why some lines are moving towards the middle line. And you can also check out the stereo width. Okay, so basically the low end, it's mono, right, in the center. All of this is in mono, and this is your original. You start to see the spread of the signal the more you go up in the frequency spectrum.
Why
right? So that's basically the reference to plugin. Let me know what you think of these plugins. I see here Acoustic says, hello, I have Reso but haven't used it in a while, probably because I use Soothe 2 so much. I get it. I get you. Feel you, man. Soothe 2 is great, but if someone doesn't have the money to spend on Soothe, which is always kind of expensive, this one it's a good alternative. So let me know what you think of these plugins. Do you have a favorite out of these? I will be very happy to know your opinion. And before we go, I'd like to invite you quickly to my website, analog.com, where I have some additional freebies, such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players. Also some tools, such as some collections of guitar impulses, a drum sample pack, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to check out the blog or this channel, which I am updating weekly with tons of free content. Thank you so much for watching. I am sorry again for not showing my face today. Hopefully tomorrow I will have my webcam working. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you very soon on the next video. All right, take care and have a great time.